Yo, Banter fam, get up, get up, get up. I hope you have your coffee ready. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Firstly, it's Friday. Hopefully you can all get a great weekend, get some rest. I know we've probably been working very hard, as well as the market waking up, which always is a fantastic thing as well. You guys are probably wondering, Sniper, what's happening, bro? You wearing a collared shirt? What? Since when does Sniper ever wear a collared shirt? I was taking a baby shoot, guys. With the, with the little hands, little thing, and like holding her and like doing all the kiss on the cheek and on the head. I'm learning all these new things. I'm trying it out. It's actually really fun. I got to go straight after the show and go do that again. But I'm like, whoa, okay, a little bit of balance, right? Family time balance, baby time balance, and banter time balance as well. I got to come say what's up to the banter fan. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We do have Bitcoin starting to rally up quite well. We are in that nice little crunch zone, which is the $44,000 region. Let me put my phone on silent. So finally, we're getting the momentum that is backing, and we are getting to that very critical stage right now. We do have short-term RSIs getting to the top. I have been speaking a lot in the last week about the shorter time frame trades and your trading portfolio, how we've been making great gains, taking some profits. Today, we're also going to be focusing on the investment sides, because I still think investors and your HODL portfolios and stuff, these are looking really strong. And the entries we've been getting and where we're at right now, can really, really set you up for a fantastic year in the crypto market. So we'll be going through that as well as I got Kyle the man, which will join us as well. He helps me a lot with the charts every day. He'll be jumping on, also giving your guys the views. So no more wasting time. Let's get it. Yo, Banter fam. Happy Friday. I hope you're all ready for, what time's beer o'clock? I know it's different times in the world, but I think we got like 2 or 3 more hours and then it's beer time to celebrate a great week in the market. So Banter fam, what's up? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. To anyone that is new to Crypto Banter, make sure you smash that like button. Take it and actually smash it. Show lots of love. Let's get it out there. Let's get the spirits going again. We're feeling good. I'm feeling very happy, and the charts are starting to work with the feelings as well. So make sure you're following myself on Twitter. Make sure you're following the whole channel on Twitter. Make sure you're following all of our Telegram groups. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and join the best community out there. Now, let's jump in and let's go have a look what is happening out here. We're starting to get a beautiful run. We spoke about yesterday, we were sitting at the $43,000 level zone, and I was expecting another little push up to take us to that $44,000, $45,000 zone. Now, this is quite exciting, guys, because we're at that crunch time where we know we have the whales offloading. We know their zone. We're getting to that really crunch time. But I don't know about you guys. Things are feeling a little bit different to what they were the last 2 pumps. Now, remember that saying that I always say, if it's fast and it goes too quickly, it usually doesn't last at that point, or doesn't, this is usually where they sort of trick you, where we get this massive shoot up, and then all of a sudden what happens? Straight back down. So we're starting to learn that something that moves very, very quickly usually doesn't last that long, and it's usually, sort of tricking you to make you FOMO in, and that's the whole part of their sort of plan. Now, the different part with the last 2 pumps when we came into this sort of rally is we had the massive shoot where we came from the low 30,000, 33,000. We shot up to 45 very quickly in the matter of a few days. Then we came all the way back down, and then what happened again? We shot up very quickly. Now, what's different this time? Guys, do you see how we're starting to get a little bit of motion going in the market now? Do you see how we're gradually now starting to grow? And this is what you want to see. You want to see that the market starts to slow down and actually starts moving in a nice momentum. And this now starts to look as a much stronger momentum than the previous ones, where we just shot up too quickly. And this is where they sort of trap you. So now we're starting to get this step-for-step format, and this is great, guys. We are at a big whale zone. So I do think that, we do know. Let's actually take a little step back here. We know this is the whale's wall. This is the bear's wall. The guys that are sitting there and laughing and saying Bitcoin's going to 20K, this is their last chance. So they must laugh and they must keep laughing. It's super funny. But if this smashes through, they're in big trouble, because this is when now, through the whole bear's attempt pulling this down, then we're getting to a point now where the bulls are going to return and they're going to have their say now. And we will then see how we, where we get to after that. And what we were saying is, all this resistance at this level here, the next resistances are only sitting in the mid 50s, the 55K in that sort of zone. So we know the break of this can give us a really strong acceleration to the upward side, very similar to the region where we had here. When we finally broke out of that range, remember this zone, we came here 29K, 30K. We had the top, which was 41K, and we got there, rejected. Third time, this is sort of what I'm looking at happening now, and it can happen this weekend, guys. Because we picked up the momentum, we're moving in this way now, we got to keep that. And now it's time for the bulls to really keep stepping up and to start breaking these key levels. And you see what happened here, how we actually shot through that wall. We did get a little bit of rejection, which I am expecting to get a short-term rejection, but the break of that wall is the main thing. Finally crack that higher high, finally just crack through that wall and break through that resistance. And you can see how you get a short-term rejection, but then we start to flow. And what's quite interesting is if you have a look at volume, you can see how it took good amount of volume to get up there, and then volume starts to trail down. And look how volume was at this low point, but yet the market was starting to shoot, which means all the volume was sitting in this zone where they were really trying to stop Bitcoin from breaking out. And when they finally breaks through, which means it takes a lot of volume to get through that key level. But once you get through that key level, it actually starts becoming a nice little smooth journey, and the volume starts to taper down, and we start to get a natural movement in the market. And then we started obviously rallying up. And the last time we broke out of these zones, we're back at 69K in the matter of 2 months. And that's something we always need to remember, because if we go back again and we have a look here, Bitcoin made the higher low. As much as you want to say it or not, where we were previous, we're higher than where we were this time. We're placing the same sort of pattern, and it looks like the same sort of time, but we higher this time. And the fact that this time was higher than this time and this time, it ended up in a higher result towards the top. And you can see here, we hold these levels and we break this wall. There is a possibility of a higher high point. We have massive resistance at 55, and we're going to take it day for day now. When we get to those levels, we can start making the decisions, is this the lower high, these sort of things. But for now, at least we know there's massive growth coming up there. So what I'm sort of looking at, I'm going to jump through the lower time frames here quick to show you guys, and then we're going to get Kyle on here to give his Bitcoin views, and then I'll go through all the DGen alts for you guys, and you can be giving me your crest as well. Now, what's happening now is we are getting this gradual growth, but we're not getting the massive rejection candle. So what I'm actually looking at now is there is a little bit of resistance sitting at 44,200, but after that, the next resistance is only sitting at around 46,000. So I'm sort of seeing that the high for me, the temporary high for me is not in just yet. What I'm looking at is a quick shoot through up to this zone over here. Then I'm expecting a long reversal candle. Now, what is a reversal candle? If you jump in here, let me show you. There we go. Do you see here the previous zone we got here? Do you see how we shoot up quickly? This is what I want to see now, because the problem is we're going flat now, which means we're indecision. But for me, that's not a reversal yet. If we go up and we slow down, it's very easy for us to continue the momentum to the upward side. So for me, I still think Bitcoin's going to go short time frame a bit higher than where we are now, as well as the alt market as well. But I want to see this quick move from Bitcoin. Quick little shoot up to the upward side, then it's going to make, and then we, at some point, we will see a reversal candle where we got this long pin over here. Let's make it a bit bigger. This long pin over candle over here. And if we start to get this on a 4 hour and the 8 hour, it's going to tell us the temporary top is in. And that's what I want us to see. Finally break through and then get that temporary little pullback. Now, for short-term traders, as I was speaking about yesterday, I'm taking profits, guys. On the trading portfolio, within all the alts that we were getting, we managed to hit ADA at the region of where we wanted to, which was the 1.2. Let me actually jump on here and show you guys where we basically hit. You can see ADA just tipped our TP1 box. I still think it's slowly going to go possibly a little bit higher. I'm still thinking another 5% within the market. But then, one thing we always got to realize is nothing, I think higher timeframes we're breaking, and I think the next April is going to be an amazing month for crypto, but nothing moves in a straight line. We will have the shoot, we will have rejection, we'll have continuation. So I'm starting to take on all these trades that we got, to the CoinPanel team. Guys, like 12 trades, and I think 11 of them have hit TPs, and they're all sitting at 30 to 45% gains. Like, that's a fantastic week right now. So the trading portfolio, that's looking amazing. But I do know, what is giving me the little hints that the short term is getting to the sort of end is this RSI. we are getting an overbought RSI. And I do want to see over next day, probably 3-4 days of small sort of downside to get the RSIs down, and then we can sort of, move on to the next targets. So I'm seeing Bitcoin make its way to the top of this wall again, shoot up to the zone. When I get that reversal candle, will give me that signal, take my last little bit of profits on my trading portfolio, and then I see a little pullback from Bitcoin back to the 42 zone. And then next, I see the break. I see hitting that wall one more time. We don't want to break through a wall when we're exhausted. We want to break through a wall when we've just come out of something, like fresh in the morning. You don't want to go to gym at 12 at night, but you want to go to gym at 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? You want to be nice and fresh for the next move. So we want to see this little push up here, drop back. If better, get the higher point, smash quickly to 47, anyway to that zone, pull back, and then shoot back. So what does that mean? It means on this little pull up now and where we're at now, I'm taking profits on my short term. Then the next pullback, I got to get back on those support buys because the market is showing tremendous strength. And from this, I see an explosion, take us to the 50, pull back short, and then the next push up here. And I think the month of April, we're going to have a really blowing market. So that's good. And one thing I do want to show you before we get Carlo in here and we get his views. This chart was right. This chart was very right. Remember the mega chart that we've been talking about in Money Season 9? Look, as soon as we broke it, guys, we've just made the lower low. Yes, baby. We finally started to get the full momentum, and this just indicated the alts are joining too. This is why we're getting an alt eruption with the Bitcoin eruption at this point. Now, what was quite interesting is the last time, remember what I said, 38K to 69K in 3 months, the last time we broke this trend. But what happens is we break down, we finally get the lower low. You see there? Boom, finally, lower low. Then there's a small correction. This is what I'm talking about. I'm seeing the small little push where Bitcoin just resets. It hits that wall, just resets, and then boom, we smash through. The different part now is the second smash, the second leg down here from the USDT is from the dominance, is the altcoins. This is where the altcoins absolutely erupt, because if we look at this now, and we go look at ETH. Let's go use ETH for example. You can see how ETH finally smashed that higher high. And ETH is still very far from my next resistance points. So for me, here, short-term pullback from ETH and an absolute rocket leg for the next leg. This next leg is going to be nearly double the size of the leg that we've just seen. And this is the same thing I'm looking on a lot of altcoins. Same with Cardano. This leg was great. That's cool. But this little pullback here, test support, next leg, big leg. Why am I saying that? It's because the next resistances, there's gaps in between those resistances. You see these big gaps here. This is what's indicating how the next move is going to be big, because as soon as we break through the main resistances, the next ones are far. And when you have far resistances, show you how big the next leg can actually be. So this next pullback is super important for me. I'm taking a little bit now, I'm loading up there, but the next leg is where the true power comes in from the market. And we can see that with all of them. Well done, the Solana entries, guys. Great Solana entry. Finally got the higher high in poi. I do think it's still going to go to 110, pullback, shoot through. This next leg is the big one, because look where the resistances are sitting. They're only sitting at $160, and it's only at $100 now. What's that? We look at that again from anywhere from there. Now you're looking at a 50 to 60% on the next leg. So this is exciting, guys. It's showing us, like, imagine this now. Look, if we get a break here, test, and we continue this move, and you ended up securing your entries here. Do you see where you are buying? Do you understand where you are buying? You're soon going to, and you're going to soon see how massive and big effect this actually is. So before I do jump into the rest of the alts, I do want to get the main man, Kyle. What's up, brother?
How's it, Sheldon? How are you?
Introduction to Kyle. His Twitter description, it's going to be below in the description. Follow this guy. He's an absolute, he helps me with the shows every day. He's got phenomenal education. His charts are fantastic. And I wanted to give you guys his view on things. And what are you thinking, brother? You just got a bit of my thoughts, and I think let's have a quick chat on it. Let's see your charts out, and then sort of look, because you told me something interesting this morning. You told me your bullish signal finally came.
Yes, yeah, finally. So what I'm seeing is very, very similar to you. There's a lot of confidence. So let me screen share over here. All right. So I'll start on a high time frame and then just work down into the low time frames. But this is something I've been watching for a while. It's the 21 EMA, so exponential moving average, thrown on a weekly chart. What you'll notice is, generally speaking, anytime, and you can basically get a high overview of the entire market over here, anytime that this was pointed down and we were below it, you were in a bear market. And alternatively, anytime that it was up and price was caught above it, we were in a bull market. So if you traded this just alone as an investor, you would have done phenomenally well. I mean, holding it from pretty much there to there, you're looking at unbelievable early days, of course, of Bitcoin, 10,000%. The next bull run, basically, you would have held it till about there. That's about a 5,000% run. And then you probably would have entered over here. You would have held it through the COVID dump, and basically you would still be in for 1,000% gain. So
wow. So you're looking at the very time frame. That's the weekly, brother. So that's just one.
Weekly. It's just one of the things that I look at. As obviously Ran has preached so many times, we have these multiple different portfolios, right? So one is an investment, one is a midterm trader, swing trading position, and then you got your high risk short-term trading position. So having a look at this from a bearish case, I mean, well, we've been caught in this range for quite a long time. I mean, it's almost a year now. It's crazy to think that we're still in this range, essentially between 29,000 and call it the all-time highs at 69,000. So it's been very choppy going in and out, above and below this line throughout. However, since this is an exponential moving average, I have hopes that if we can just clear this 46K cluster over here, we will be able to turn that moving average back up. And then we obviously have a real chance. The bulls have a chance, as you said as well. The bulls have a chance to take over here and pick up some momentum. So currently, we've just breached that candle. The other side that I err on caution is still that we have this rising wedge, which is still technically in a downtrend. So that's currently coming in at about the same area of that 44.6. So if I move over onto my next chart, throwing on the fibs as well, so you got that similar channel, right, governing the highs. This is a parallel channel. You got the mid-range over here. This is an area that I'm as well going to have a look and see how does price react when we get to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement at 46K.
What price is that at?
Excuse me?
What price is that at?
That's currently at, is it too small? Let me make this a bit bigger.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just zoom in.
So that's currently caught at $46,721.
Yeah.
So it's high confluence with what you're seeing as well. And then you mentioned the 0.618. So let's say we make it through there. Again, we're going to have to watch to see we don't make lower highs at the 0.618. So that golden ratio coming in at $55,000. But as I go down into the lower time frames, you'll notice that there are some bullish indicators which you can kind of front run this, right? So we're not going to just sit out the market for a whole year hoping that we get out of the zone. Of course, we need to take trades in between. So this is something that I look at for trends, basically, that you can stick in for weeks to months. And essentially what it is it's the moving average that's thrown on a 3. So it's a 3 MA, 9 MA, and a 30 MA. So you can use this, again, you're caught in that channel. You have the short-term moving average, which is just crossed above the mid-term moving average. Both are pointing up. You have the longer-term moving average, which is still coming down. So price is
the last time we had the cross of the yellow and the green, where were we? I just want to see what it's done.
That's a great question. So pretty much over here would be 58,000 is when this crossed, would have been a signal that you could potentially exit. Obviously, this candle moved down very, very quickly. So you've got to be strict on your rules if you do follow the system. But you can essentially manage your money using this system in different steps. You would enter or exit certain percentages as these moving averages cross. This is something that you would require a whole seminar on to explain. However, I'm just showing it for the point of the discussion.
If you hold it as support, it will always
Yeah.
stay to the upward side. If you go below it and you close below it, you know a cross is coming. So don't use them as lagging indicators. Use them as a support and resistance, because that's great. So just go back quickly to those. Let's go have a look quickly. So someone just said, yeah, no volume. Guys, you don't even understand how much volume will come in if Bitcoin starts breaking 46 to the 47,000. Because everyone's using the same sort of indicators and the same sort of zones and where we're at. Now look at the last time we had these crosses. That cross happened when Bitcoin finally broke out of that 35K range. Then it had the little test down, and you can see how really bullish we go when we break it and we continue to hold it. So that's another good sign, brother. You know, one that also, before we come back on yours here, what's super interesting for me is look at this monthly stochastic. Like, you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous where we're looking on the monthly stochastic in the market.
And it's just crossing up, so you can.
It's just crossing up, bro. The weekly has just started taking off, which is fantastic. So we're starting to get a lot of movements. Now, are you? What's your altcoin thinking? How are you thinking about altcoins? Because I do think
for altcoins, I think that they're doing great. I mean, I love the USDT chart that you've shown. I've been following that as well myself. So I think that's obviously an indication that money is going to flow. We know the flow of money, right? Bitcoin, then into large cap alts, mid caps, and then low caps. However, once we cross that 45K region, so again, if I move on to another chart over here, I can show you there's a real cluster over here. This is all we need to clear. If we can get through this area and above this area and hold there just for a couple of days, I think that the market will absolutely explode, including the altcoins. So these are key quarterly levels that I marked off. I just essentially marked off strong horizontal areas of support and resistance that have been sticking over the last year or so. And this is essentially the big range that we caught up in. So again, you have a whole cluster of moving averages coming down. You have the middle of the Bollinger Band as well. So we have to clear this 46K area. If we clear that area, then I'm essentially looking over here. This is a chart that I made a while back, but so from a bullish perspective,
take your RSIs away and just make it full screen. Then we can have a look.
There we go. So of course, it's a simple accumulation, right? We have the higher lows and we had the lower highs. However, for the first time, just 3 days ago, I guess, we confirmed that higher high. So now we have the higher lows and the higher highs, and we're currently sitting in an ascending triangle, which, as we know, has a high probability to break to the upside. So I would have a targeted move on this at about $55,000, $56,000. That's currently what I'm watching, but we need to break again. We have to break above that 45, 46K region. And also you got the high leverage at the moment. So that's historically shown that anytime that the global leverage ratio is in the region of about $13, $14 billion, you experience some sort of a pullback. The golden cross happened over here with the EMAs. Is probably my favorite way to trade. It's using the 21, the 50, and the 200. I really only look at the 50 and the 200. That made its cross on the 19th of March. So just a couple of days ago. I just wanted to make sure that we made the higher high, which is, as I mentioned to you this morning when we chatted, and I said, now I'm finally bullish, looking for buying opportunities. It was because we confirmed these higher highs. Fantastic, and that's what I'm looking at, bro.
No. Quick question. We break through 46, we got to 55. Bitcoin make a higher high this year. What do you think, brother?
I will take it step by step. I think it's possible. I would love to see this range over here cleared. I mean, if we can clear where we had, here we go. Let's just go back a bit here. If we can just clear that 618 Fibonacci level, I'll feel very confident at just above 55K that we're going to make new all-time highs. What do you think?
I agree, brother. And I think we're going to get short-term rejection at 46. You saw how much moving average is there. Everything's sitting at that zone. And I think a small little flush out of leverage. So I do think a 10, 15% pullback at that zone. But I don't know about you. I'm taking the next pullback as a big buying opportunity for me. You know what I mean? I'm only getting out now to farm some more tokens, but I do not want to get out of this market right now. Like, I really don't.
No, definitely not. 100%. I think Yeah, I think if you've been in the market now, as you mentioned, now's a great time to just trim a little bit off the top, take a couple of profits, and then you can just reinvest that as soon as we do experience this pullback. I mean, we know nothing goes in a straight line, right? We've already moved 30-40% from the lows with not much of a pullback yet. So it's inevitable that it's going to happen. We've got the Stokes as well on the daily that are busy turning down. So I'd expect that to reset. And then I'm hoping that on that reset, we hold this ascending triangle. As long as we don't break below this, I am super bullish.
Let's say we do have a small pullback now at 46. What's your support? What's your level we must hold?
Yep.
You know what I mean? To say we can break out of this.
Okay, let me make this a bit bigger. This is the exact level that I'm watching. As long as we hold this over here, then I'm happy. That would be a loss of this level would be a bullish invalidation, losing that higher low and then creating another lower low. I'd expect price to go down much further after that. So I really want to see. This is currently at 40,800. Call it $41,000 at that region. If we can hold this, fantastic. Then the pattern's still in play, especially if we can keep in this region within the ascending trend line here that's been governing those higher lows.
Amazing, brother. I love it, dude. I see everyone saying, guys, what do you think of Kyle? Should we make a Sheldon and Kyle show twice a week? He jumps on the show and we chat together. What do you guys think? Put in the comments here. Let us know. Love you, brother. That's all we needed. We just needed you to come show your shorts. Your shorts. Your thoughts.
I don't have shorts. Don't
next to me every day running the controls. But you know what I mean? You should be on the damn show with me. Yes,
why not? We can make it happen.
Okay, prep the charts. We will have 2 days a week. Carl will join me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it very much. Guys, make sure to follow him on Twitter. Description below. Show the guy some love. He will give you guys fantastic love on his Twitter and give you a lot of insight. Cool, brother. I'll chat to you later.
Awesome, bro. See you for coffee.
Cool, brother. Ciao. He's been sitting out the whole time. Are we wasting talent or what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I think the guy should be jumping on the damn show and showing some damn love. Okay, guys, pop in here. Let's go through some altcoins quickly so we can have a chat on the week to see what's happened in the weekend. Apparently, we got a Fantom breakout. Fantom. Let's see what's happening on Fantom right now. Okay, guys. So we obviously got this main support of mine. So it sort of makes sense. And we got a lot of
There we go. We got you back.
Cool. I had to change the headsets. Yeah, we're fast, eh? Okay. Cool, guys. So Fantom, as we can see here now, we do have a little push up, which is great. You know, it is what we sort of expected, which is good. We do have a lot of resistance at the 140 zone. So for me, there's still my ultra zone right now until we can have Fantom, you know, break out. So I think, guys, like, we should not be getting out of Fantom now. A lot has happened already in this time. And there's where the next sort of zones are. So for me, you know, push here, test here still makes sense, you know, at any single point. But anything that will invalidate that for me is we break through this completely, test, and we continue and we sort of do the zone. So for now, Fantom's great. I think it's good. I won't be buying much now, but I think you definitely should not be selling. So I think Fantom's absolutely moving. Now, RUNE's moving again. I know I've been sold off. I think I got out about 50-60% of my position, but this is a really good daily candle that's moving now. And I do have one more major resistance. Now, remember, if there is any pullback from Bitcoin, a lot of these alts will pull back as well. Definitely. So for me, I just want to see the next zone for RUNE, and that's sitting between basically $10 to $12 for me as the next major resistance zone. I'm still taking a bit of profits as long as we rally up here, because I know at some point we're going to get a decent pullback and I'll get a nice little farming opportunity. So RUNE's showing a good amount of strength. Kusama's doing well, guys. Gala games. This is good. So remember I spoke about Gala games yesterday. This is one, if we do get a nice breakout today and we get a daily close above this, you know, it can still be a good trade for you guys. There is still a possibility pullback of 23 cents. Remember, there's a short-term pullback coming. I think it's going to be a small pullback compared to the gains. Remember, the market's just done this. So a little pullback like this, It makes sense. So I think there's that. And I think you guys need to take this weekend very seriously, because we get this little pullback in the market. This is where you really want to capitalize. Because by us smashing in the levels we're at now, things are just feeling really good again. Dominance is feeling great again. USDT dominance in our favor. Things are looking great. So be a bit more patient with the remainder of your buys on the next pullback zone. And if you got really super good entries low, like hold strong, put your stop loss at entries. Was it not nice to trade the last 2 weeks with some structure, with actually knowing what we're doing and what we're looking at? Let's jump here to DOT. DOT's good, guys. I do think, same thing. Small little push up, pull back down. We're going to be focusing early next week on the pullback. So this is great. Let's work on this next little push up now to start freeing up a little bit of cash. Let's start learning. Let's get that. And then the next 2-3 days on Monday, Tuesday, anywhere those zones, let's focus on getting back in and getting the buys again. And the whole purpose is for us to do this together. Remember as well, CoinPanel, guys, got everything for you guys. And guess what? Today we are redoing our whole investment list with a whole new strategy. You don't want to miss it at all. Trading watch list has been pumping. You can see how well we've been doing on all of those. So make sure you are using that tool as well. Let's have a look what else is moving at this point. Are we starting to show a little bit of strength? I want to see if it's basically starting to look at any breakouts. Not just yet. It is getting, I saw Algo was showing strength. What do you guys want? Vet chart. Let's do the vet chart. Vet did well, guys. Look at our entry. Boom. That's what we want to catch. So same thing here. There will be some resistance here. Bitcoin will get a short-term hit from that 46 zone. Small pullback here. Continuation. So I'm freeing up a little bit in the zone here. You don't have to free up all, but I'm freeing up some of my positions. Remember to split. I wonder if I got my stuff here. It's not here. We keep removing it. But remember my pie charts, guys, about trading portfolio, hodl portfolio. Make sure you're splitting that. Now, quick thing now, just before I go on with any of the stuff now, as investors, guys, now this means 50-60% of your portfolio, that's hodl. You don't want to be trading this much at all. 1 or 2 times a year max. Guys, come have a look at all these tokens, where you're buying them investment-wise. Investment-wise, I'm not getting in and out of my investment at this point at all. I'm only adding at this point on any nice little pullbacks of tests of support. That's all. But to be selling now, like investment-wise, guys, 50% of your portfolio should not be touched for the next 3 months. Like you can just see where we are at. We're only starting to break these weeklies now. Cross of RSIs only now. Strength is only starting to come in now. And remember, even if this was one move here and we just have a correction here, and maybe we have this at the later part of the year. Look where we still got to enter first and where we're breaking out. So for me, for VET, massive opportunity investment-wise. Only my trading portfolio I'll be taking. But look at here. Look at EGLD. Look at this, guys. We are so early here. A push here is insane gains. You're looking at another 100% on your position, and that's not even breaking all-time high. That's just testing the 618, the normal levels. Go through any of them. Let's actually have a look here quick. Look at ETH. Look at ETH, guys, where we at. Like, look at this big channel on where we are, much higher time frame now. There's no way you want to be selling any of your hodl or your investment ETH, because it's only just started to really show massive strength. Look at that. The weekly is showing strong. Now, the only thing is it's got one massive resistance, which is sitting here at 3.2. We got the Bitcoin resistance sitting at 4.6. Guys, do you see any volume in here yet? Do you see any volume? No volume. When does the volume come? What does that mean? It means retail is not even here yet. Guys, you're buying before retail. It's something to always keep your mind at and to understand. Now, remember the last time, you get this taper down, all of a sudden you start to get the strong rally to the upward side. So ETH, look at that investment-wise, fantastic. Look at Cardano, guys. Look where you're catching it investment-wise. This is massive. It only just broke weekly trend now. Look where you've been catching that on Cardano. Volume, look here. Our volume starting to taper up here now. This is showing like massive amounts of strength on the higher time frames for these tokens. Look at this, guys. Let's jump to the weekly, jump to the monthly. You want to be a true investor. You only trade 1 or 2 times a year. But this for you, we came all the way down to Solana and we came and tested these main support zones here, which was great. But look at the amount of potential we have on Solana and where we can be going on this next move. The next major resistance on the weekly is only sitting at $170. That's massive for Solana, where we're looking at. So investment-wise, just remember, guys, if I'm telling you guys to take profits or anything, it's only your trading portfolio. Money that you need, money that you're using to make more tokens. That's it. But when it comes to investment-wise, get these damn good entries on any little pullbacks we get over the weekend, any good entries. You're dollar costing in these zones because look where you're buying these things on way higher time frame. AVAX, I do think it's going to come back to about 75. Investment entry, that's where I want to dollar cost. You know, look at DOT. Look at these tokens, guys. This is high time frame. Now, go back to when they were previously came off a long push like this, and look what happened at a later point. Fundamentals haven't changed. Crypto is getting bigger every single day. We've got Russia talking about crypto. We've got crypto is getting bigger every single day. People may not know how to get into crypto, but everyone knows about damn crypto now. So fundamentals have always just been going up. You know, so to look at good fundamental tokens, guys, we have a very bright year for these. You know, we look at DOT on where we're at. Look how cheap that is. Look where we are at Kusama. Look where we are at Sand. Guys, come on. You know what I mean? So as investment-wise, get your portfolio, get a good 50. Remember what I said to you guys. You got a small portfolio of $1,000. You know, then you got 70% in your trading portfolio. You're getting in and out because you got to build your account to $10,000. Once it's at $10,000, you can then have 50% long-term and 50 in that thing. And then once you get to $100,000, you can then have only 20% of your portfolio trading and 80% in the long term. So it's just for the smaller guys with small accounts. You got to be a bit more active. But you have a market that has a big range. It's giving you what you need to do now to grow your account. Then you have, if you've got more money and you've built up now, guys, the less you trade, the better. It's very simple with that sort of move. It all matters on your portfolio size. So categorize yourself and split it to what you need to be. If you've got a $100,000 portfolio, or you're a long-term investor, 80% you should not be touching now. You should be dollar costing on these beautiful tokens, the good fundamental tokens that are so cheap right now at these levels, and you should be sitting back and playing with a bit more so you can still be catching in the groove. The short-term guys should be going crazy because the range is just massive. So you look at Sand, look at RUNE, look at that, guys. This is why you want to catch it. Look how quickly things can turn. Look at the volume from RUNE right now. This is beautiful volume. But you see why you want to catch these long-term downtrends on the weekly, because they give you these massive, look at Fantom. That's the trend I want to be catching. So I'm still thinking a little bit more time, but it will come. The time will come again, and that's when we'll have it. So look at Fantom as a good investment opportunity. Short time frame, I'm not trading it because there's not much interest there at this point. Look at 1 inch. Only just broke the downwards wedge now. Volume only starting to increase now. Look at Chainlink. Guys, look at this. You know what I mean? Chainlink, I do think something like this. But where you're buying is absolutely phenomenal where you're looking at your investment thing. So the hardest part is what percentage do I put where? And that's where you got to categorize yourself. Little bit of money, you got to be more active. So bigger part is trading, smaller part is hodl. You got a bigger portfolio or you're a long-term investor, you don't have a lot of time, bigger hodl, smaller trading. So remember when I'm talking in the day and telling you to take profits and stuff, first categorize yourself. Know where you're looking at, and then you can make the next decision. Look at MATIC. Guys, boom. MATIC's volume, like look at that. Like that's tiny volume. There's not even volume there yet. But we broke a trend. And you remember, the trend always breaks first before the volume comes in. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But that's exactly what happened. Look here. We had a trend here. Look here. No volume. All of a sudden, broke a trend. Boom. Volume. It's crazy, you know, to see these things. Use these trend lines. Look where we're at. Oh, this theta chart just gives me goosebumps, bro. Gives me goosebumps, Alan. Goosebumps, brother. It literally gives me goosebumps. We need a little bit of music here, but gives me a lot of goosebumps. Look at theta right now and where that is. Look how long this has been consolidating. Now take this whole main trend here. Guys, we are getting to super. We got this weekly trend here. A break of this trend. And let's go look at RSIs. Look how RSIs only just crossed it upside now. Guys, come on. You know what I mean? Like where we get in this investment-wise is super important. And understanding when to deploy massively on weekly trends is also very important. Look at render. Come on. We only just crossed here now. We've broken trend now. Volume hasn't even entered yet. Because if think about it, if Bitcoin breaks 46 and goes to 55 quickly, he's also going to go berserk. And if you weren't stocking up at the right times, or times, like you're going to be very upset because then where you're buying. Guys, we have to learn from the last run. Please don't buy these next pumps. And I'm going to make sure I sit every day. And, you know, it's when these things rally and we're at a different level, I'm going to be focusing so much. People might even be cross with me at times on TPs. And I'm going to be very honest with the new guys that come in. Because the sad thing is, we just watch. You don't believe me. Bitcoin breaks 46,000, right? I'll be at 80,000 views to 100,000 views per show in the next 2 months. Watch, just remember. The sad thing is they're all going to come in when it's at these levels, and I'm going to have to give them the hard truth to say, guys, look where you are entering now. Like, I can give you can only be trading short term now. You can't be getting investment entries at this point. Just watch and remember where you categorize. Look at Render. Then we look at Saffron Finance was good. Tezos. This one, guys, this one is really, really, really bullish for me when it comes to investment wise. The break of this is a long-term pullback push here. It was at $9, guys. But this, for me, is really, really strong strength. So this next pullback over the weekend, it can either be over the weekend or it can be the early next week when we have that daily RSI resets. Just remember the importance of these entries that you're getting and just make sure you categorize properly of your portfolio size. Look at Atom. Look at this one, FTT. Boom! Woo! We want to catch these babies, man. Huh? Look how we want to catch these daily breakouts. This is what we want. And when you catch them, you get beautiful damn entries. Look at FTT. Look at Super. Super's got this long weekly trend. Nearly there. Nearly there. Algorand. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Things are looking really, really good. Which ones do you want here? Luxo, I'll go through on Monday. Credo charts, I'll go through on Monday. I'll get these ready for you guys. Just take some notes there for me, please. Ellen, Sunny, and we're going to be going through a lot of Solana ecosystem coins as well. KDA breakouts. We spoke about this. I don't actually have KDA in my portfolio. Should I be getting KDA in my portfolio? Is it a good token? I did have it here somewhere. I'll be checking them. This vet one as well makes me super excited. We look at that. Wow. Like this thing retraced all the way back down. Like this is looking big. ICP is good, guys. Moonbeam is good. Guys, I know you're asking me to chart a lot of these tokens. I've just given you the best strategies you can do. Take some of these strategies and go put them on your charts. Please. Go put your stochastic RSI. Go draw those long weekly trends. Go weekly, go monthly, go high time frames. Go put the stuff on your charts. Whatever tokens you love, that's fine. As long as you know which one is your safe hodl, which one is your medium risk, and which one is your low risk. As long as you know that stuff and you know how to categorize, I don't care what tokens you love, which ones you think are going to change the world. As long as you can categorize them and understand what percentage is long-term hodl, which one am I putting stop losses and TPs and things, go crazy. Use the strategies, guys. Use what I'm teaching you every day. Go put them on any of the charts you want. Near protocol. This one for me is going to be big as well. Doge. Look at the Doge chart. Huh? Look at the Doge chart. Oh, something's happening there. Something's looking. So, we were talking about Doge yesterday, short TP at the 15-cent mark. I think the next, high risk. I'll be adding some Doge to my portfolio. Definitely. When the RSIs get up here above the 50 to the 70, like I told you guys, I'll be taking some out. Cool. Amazing, guys. I think let's drop it off like that. I think have a fantastic weekend. I need to go back and go take some pictures. Love you all. Have a fantastic weekend. For any of the traders, you've done bloody well. I'm very proud of you. Take your profits. Take a 3-day break. Wait for stochastic RSI to get the bottom, and then we go buy them again. Okay. For the investors, buy pullbacks, categorize your portfolio properly, and kick ass. I love you lots, Banter fam. I'll see you all on Monday. Poked him in the eye.